Good evening, everyone. It is July the 21st, 2025. I know we've talked before about affordable housing, but I wanted to go into a little bit more on what that sort of looks like, or I believe it kind of looks like. And we've got some more statistics on the next one that I'm going to put up, but I've got a few more statistics that I'm going to add to it that I'm aware of. So I want to start with how much rent we're paying. And in the last 3 months or so, it's gone up 15%. And it's been really rough, as we know, since the pandemic. This is when the rents started going up and up on us. And along with everything else, the food, the gas, you name it, everything else has been going up at the same time. So it's been leaving a lot of people stressed to their limit, and certainly it's not good for our mental health. That's another reason why I believe that our mental health is down right now and people are so unhappy. And I think we've got to get some kind of control over this. It's still debatable how we do that, but I do know one of the things is affordable housing, and what does that look like? Because right now, an average rent is $2,199 here for an apartment, and that's down from $2,039 in May, that's for sure. So that's gone down just slightly. And then, of course, in a more rich area, you're looking at, say, Canada here, at $2,358 a month for rent. And then you're looking at a one-bedroom renting at $1,993. That's an average rent for that. And a two-bedroom at $2,578 a month as well. So this is like, how do you afford all this? And then I'm just going to go back to the minimum wage right now, what one person would make. And I think it's our minimum wage right now in Ontario is just over $15 and some odd cents, but I'm just going to round it off to $15 an hour. And that comes, if you're looking at a 40-hour week that you're working, that comes to $600 a week. Times 4 weeks, that comes to $2,400. And when you look and you start adding up all the figures that I've just given you, you can just barely afford the rent. And in some cases, you can't even afford the rent, period. That's way over your limit. And then the other one we don't always talk about is the market rent, which is another one. And that's a little bit more affordable. It's just below what the average rent would be. So that would be like that's, and they're saying a market rent would go for $1,525 a month. So that's what you're looking at there. So that's lower definitely than the rents that are running out of control, because of course, just a little reminder that the provincial government after the pandemic was over released we don't have any more rent control. So the landlords are just putting them up as they wish to. And of course, with the rent evictions and everything else, that's why they're getting away with this. And then you have the also the rent to income. And that's what we haven't really talked about. And I think that's it's 30 or 35% of your income, of what you make is what you pay. And I know I saw someone talking there and saying that, well, I'm paying 60% of my income right now just on rent alone, and I'm struggling to make it. Well, when you look at that kind of a price tag, that's over half of what that person makes a month. Then it's understandable why we've got that problem there. And that's just the rent. You're not even looking at how much it costs for food per month. And if you have a car, you have car repairs. You certainly have the gas on top of that. Then, of course, you also have to pay taxes. And then you're also paying into your CPP if you're here in Canada, that's for sure. And then you have your hydro, water, and gas is also, you have to, on top of what your income is, and on top of certainly paying your rent. And then there, of course, you've got clothing, you've got furniture, and some people, rather than have a car, they still have to pay for public transit, and that's in monthly passes, so they're up over $100 a month right now. They're quite expensive even. And so what I'm seeing and what I believe what we're really looking at is, when you look for affordable housing, I would say we're looking at least not these big condos going up, and they're apparently, from what I'm understanding, the condo market is starting to crash a bit. They're having trouble selling them. Well, I wonder why, with the prices that they're charging for things. So the housing market is going up a little bit because people are trying to get a mortgage, which will be less than hopefully what you're paying for rent. That was the idea too, and my husband and I, we were able to get a house, so we were certainly paying less with a mortgage than we would have been with rent at the time as well. So that's kind of understandable where people are from, but people can't even afford a down payment now on a house. So we're in a lot of turmoil right now. And I think what we're looking for right now is that we're looking for more market rent places as well as rent to income for certain, when you're looking at that part of the affordable housing. And the other part of the affordable housing, of course, is the supportive housing that I'm always talking about. So I just wanted to give people an idea just why people are suddenly ending up at the food banks, and because with all that, what do you pay? What can you afford to pay? And I mean, it takes 2 salaries coming in for sure, and even sometimes on 2 salaries, it's not enough to make it. So, and I keep thinking of my parents and the Depression and that, and they said, well, what happens is everything has to collapse, and when it collapses, then all these high fashion places that cost so much, they're going to just be reduced to almost paying nothing. It's whatever people can afford. You're starting from scratch all over again, and then the rents will go way down, and then they'll just slowly start going back up again. And that's what I'm wondering, is what's going to happen if we can't get this sorted out and get the housing that we need to build quickly. And like I said, it's the affordable housing and certainly the supportive housing that I've been talking about. And the other ones that I also mentioned in between to help would be much better if we could get that going as well. So it's just something I just wanted to leave you with and talk about. And that's not more food for thought of just why we're in this situation. So I'm just going to leave it there for today for everyone. And so everyone, take care, be safe, watch your surroundings, and we'll talk again soon. And bye-bye.